I don't envision myself doing very many political videos. In fact, I don't envision myself doing any political videos. At least videos focusing strictly on politics. I can see myself doing many videos about athletes trying to insert their political views in and how much we don't need them and how much we don't care. For me, I just don't like politics. I never have. Not really a fan of any politician on a personal level. Definitely not a fan of either party. But I just kind of want to talk about last night's election a little bit, and just give a few thoughts here. You know, there was an election last night every 4 years, so maybe I'll make a political video once every 4 years. But last night was a bloodbath for the Democrats and for Kamala. Just get out of the way. I voted for Trump. I voted for him in 2020 as well. I have some opinions about how that election ultimately went down. I can't prove it. It's never been really definitively disproven either, other than saying, look, we have the numbers, and well, that's fine. I mean, anybody can put numbers out there, but as far as hard proof, we haven't seen it. But that's neither here nor there. It's over. That was 4 years ago. In 2016, I voted third party, Gary Johnson. Not really a libertarian, but I just I couldn't stand Trump. I couldn't stand Hillary. I walked into that election thinking whoever wins, I lose, and I really wouldn't have voted. But my mother, she voted. She didn't vote for a long time, but when I was a kid, she started voting because she got to thinking about all the fighting that the women had to go through. In the early part of the 1900s, just to be able to vote. Through the 1800s into the 1900s, just to be able to vote. And I think she felt bad that they did all that fighting and she wasn't out there voting. So even though she doesn't care about politics all that much, and Dad certainly never cared. He's kind of like me. He's like, they're all crooks. Nothing to do what they're going to say. Doesn't matter. He's in there. So I felt like I had to vote, and I didn't want to vote for either. But I will say Trump won me over. Not so much on a personal level. His tweets were stupid and ridiculous as during his first term, as opposed to now when they're still stupid and ridiculous. But at the end of the day, he was the president, and the economy improved a ton. It was rough under the George W. Bush and Obama years. Just massive recession, a lot of things that people could see coming from experts could see coming from a mile away. That just never got responded to. At the end of the day, gas prices stayed down under Trump's presidency, and that just caused a snowball effect. When you're not having to pay so much for gas, you start getting extra money in your pocket. And he actually, taxes weren't bad. And again, more extra money goes in your pocket. And as the middle class, when you have some extra money in your pocket, you can go out there, buy stuff. We want to have fun. We want to entertain ourselves. You can buy, go on trips, go on, cruises. I've never been on a cruise, but I'd like to one day. Never really wanted to, but recently I started kind of getting the itch for that, so I'll probably do that in a few years or so. And when that happens, we start spending money at businesses, and those businesses start doing well. Those businesses start doing well. Obviously, the CEO is always going to get theirs. That's just how it goes under any system. But they might do well enough that they can start sending down some bonuses to us, and our raises might be a little bit better than they normally are. And it was a good time, at least financially. Obviously I have personal stuff, but I mean they tried to follow. The elites never liked him because they want their system where, like I said, it's kind of like socialism, where everybody under them is equally poor, equally bad off. And that's kind of where we're going under the Obama administration and the George W. Bush administration for those 16 years, in my opinion. That's just my amateur political analysis. But yeah, I mean, Trump, things are good, so I went and voted for him again. 2020 November, put my mask on, and COVID. I talk all day about that. I'd rather not. I won't forget it ever happened, but I need to not forget it ever happened. There needs to be some serious inquiries on that. But anyways, did that, went in line, voted for Trump, and much more people actually came out and voted for Trump in 2020 than did in 2016. So he'd clearly won people over, and he made huge progression from 2020, from 2016, in minorities and women and I mean, you name it. Younger people, the people that these grumpy old white guys, Republicans, had not been doing well with for a long, long time. And but he, like I said, went to bed that night feeling pretty good about a Trump victory. All the betting odds had Trump winning, and then we woke up in the morning and. I mean, y'all know what happened. It's somewhere around 2 to 3 in the morning. It's a bunch of absentee ballots got counted, and which may or may not have been legitimate. I have my opinions. I can't prove it, so I'm just gonna leave that there. And suddenly, it was Biden's, and there's a lot of controversy over that. That the media kept telling us, there's nothing to it. There's nothing to it. And instead of going into any kind of look, here's why there's nothing to it, they just said, hey, there's nothing to it. Listen to us, believe us. And that's another thing that I'm going to touch on, the mainstream media and their role in all this. It's time for the mainstream corporate-backed media to go away. CNN, CNBC, MSNBC, all these legacy media corporate, even Fox News. Time for them to go away. So I think it's time for all of them to, and they're not going to just go away, but people are tuning out, and we've got to keep tuning out. I implore people to continue to tune out and find an independent person who's not backed by corporations with a stake in how the news is presented, and listen to them. One of the things that was brought up through the media a lot in this election was the economy is good. All the economic indicators, that's what we heard about. The economic indicators say the economy is good. The stock market, all this stuff. At the end of the day, we're still paying out of our rear ends for gas. That Sunday, I think it was a Saturday, I went to the grocery store. I bought a 12 case of beer, and just for the record, it'll take me about 2 weeks to finish that. I don't drink much. I mean, about every third or fourth night, I'll sit back and have about 2 or 3 beers. That's me. Liquor, forget about it. Just puke all over everything. But I bought that. I bought a case of Propel, and like literally 2 little bags full of really like deodorants and shaving cream and I forgot what else I got. It wasn't even enough to cover the bottom of the shopping cart. $72. I mean, it's just we don't have this kind of money. We're losing out. I've been single for a long, long time. I got married early this year at the age of 40, so I had a long time to save up a pretty good amount of money, even through the W and Obama years, and I saved a bunch during the Trump years. I met my soon-to-be ex-wife, and in 2020, and between the economy and her, I mean, my savings account has pretty much been cut in half. From a pretty decent squirrel's nest, I'll say. I mean, like I said, it's not anything that could, I couldn't buy a car with cash or a brand new car with cash. I certainly could buy a house with cash if I needed to. I don't have that kind of money, but I never had that kind of money. But I just watched it dwindle away. And I've been trying to have fun. Go to a few Metallica concerts, and it just depleted it. And having to help her. She had 3 kids, my stepkids, who I love and still plan on staying part of their lives. Some, trying to help them out because I wanted her to be able to stay at home with them, and be a mother to them, and be a mother to Lily. Isn't that correct, Lily? But yeah, it's just, and I said, look, I'll take on the financial burden of that, which I could have in the past, but over these past 4 years, I couldn't have, and that's what it comes down to. You can point out all the economic indicators. Don't talk about the stock market, okay? I don't know what percentage of this country actually owns stock. I know they probably got 401ks and other plans where stock's involved that they can't really even tell you how it works. I might have that. I don't even know. No, actually, I don't. I know I don't. And I don't know what percentage of America actually actively engages in trading stocks. But it's very, very few, so talk about the stock market's not going to get you anywhere. I'm just telling you that. So you can leave that at home, and then of course they want to bring up all the race and the. It's just, first of all, there's never been as nearly as much division among racial lines in the past 40 years like they want to talk about. I'm not saying it's not there. I'm not about to sit here and say racism doesn't exist, because it does. But as far as just being divided among racial lines, that's not true. I mean, every person I know, the people that I know and like, and the people I dislike, and the people they know and like and dislike, it all has to do with their personality, the content of their character, and how pleasant they are to be around. It has nothing to do with, I don't want to hang out with this person of this color. That just doesn't happen. That's not happened for a long, long time, and like I said, the generation where that did matter is quite honestly dying out. My parents never mattered to them. They're 71 and 69 respectively, dad and mom. I never heard them mention race growing up. It just was nothing. It was immaterial to them, and thus became immaterial to me. And then they start getting talked about all the time, and I'm really confused. But that's what I'm saying. It's not a factor. You can state it all you want. It's not a factor. We elected Barack Obama twice, did we not? So if race was any type of factor, he would have never ever won 2 straight elections and the popular vote pretty big both times. That's another thing. Last night, Kamala looks like she's not gonna. I mean, I know all the votes haven't been tallied, but she's not gonna win the popular vote. First time since 2004, 20 years ago, that the Republicans are gonna carry the popular vote. If that doesn't show you that people have lost confidence in the Democratic Party and are looking for some sort of just lifeline economically for their own financial lives, I don't know what else does. People see Donald Trump. They see how it was when he was president. They see how it was under the Biden-Kamala administration. I mean, it's very easy to compare the two. People are trying to, make all these, trying to make all these other reasons. At the end of the day, I mean, good Lord, we just want to live our lives and enjoy it. I mean, I'm not saying I don't care about stuff that's happening. If there's inequalities happening, I hate that. I don't want that to happen, but what can I do about it? I mean, seriously, because I guarantee you they're not going to fix it. Because that's not. They can make a lot of money off of talking about it. They can't make very much money off of actually fixing it. No politician can. And so I just hope that this election. I mean, let's face it. It was over at 10 o'clock last night. It was pretty obvious right then Kamala was not going to win, and it just got worse over the next 3 hours. I went to bed at 1. I was so afraid to go to bed because I remember 2020. And, I mean, not there's anything I could do about it, but I mean, I wanted to keep vigil over it to see if suddenly absentee ballots started coming in. And finally, it was after I went to sleep, they finally officially called it. The AP finally has had no choice but to call it for Trump. And it's a bloodbath. I mean, it's basically, if it was in wrestling terms, it's what you call a squash match. I mean, she never was in it. There was never anything. All the swing states, really weren't that close. I think a few should still be decided because the votes got to come in. But I mean, Georgia and North Carolina, my home state, proud of them for once. They both just destroyed it. Destroyed Kamala. Pennsylvania, it just got uglier. Seemed like every time another percentage point of precincts reporting would come in from Pennsylvania, it just got, worse and worse for her. Michigan, I mean, you'd think with Detroit there, there'd be a big Democratic stronghold, but I guess even they're tired of their country, I say country, may as well be its own country, but tired of their city just being more and more of a trash heap, more and more irrelevant by the minute. You think Baltimore and some of these other cities would follow suit, but whatever. But like I said, at the end of the day, it's not about Donald Trump. It's about the economy. And under him, the economy did well. That's what we cared about. And we care about the southern border because that's going to have an impact on our lives. We care about the crime rate and the fact that so many cities are just allowing crime to happen willy-nilly like it's nothing. That's third world country shit. We don't want that. So they're trying to make all these, like, Well, it happened because of this and this. No, the, look right at our homes. And again, that's where the mainstream corporate-backed media does not want us to look. They don't want us to look at ourselves. They want us to look at us as a whole against socialism. That's what they're after. And they want us to look past all, not look at us and look at, hey, the economic indicators are good. Hey, these people are suffering because we say they're suffering, and this person will prevent their suffering, just like the person before them that we said would prevent their suffering did not do. Just like the person before that person who we said would stop their suffering did not do. And we're not stupid. So, I mean, hopefully a lot of changes will come from this. Hopefully politicians will, stop worrying about other stuff and worry first and foremost about the economy and how the average American is affected by the economy, and make that the focal point of that, and understand that if they take care of us, we will take care of them. We will go out and we will vote for them. And if they don't, we will go out and make sure not to vote for them as well. It's hard to say how many votes for Trump was, oh my God, I cannot handle another 4 years of basically the Biden-Kamala deal. There's some things, all the exit polls in the world, you just can't really know. How much was a combination of what? So take care of the stuff at home. Keep money in our pockets. Keep a little extra money in our pockets. Give us some tax breaks here and there. Give us a stimulus check here and there. Say, hey, we got a little bit of a budget surplus, which I know they never do, but just make something up. We don't care. If we're getting a check, we're not going to ask questions. I know it sounds selfish as hell and ignorant as hell, but it's the truth. And I implore anybody to argue with me on that truth. But like I said, I just hope that's a lesson, because like I said, it was not a close race at all. That's probably the most lopsided one. It's got to be since 1984, I'd imagine. I don't know. I don't remember 88. I was only 4. I know there's been some ones that have been. You pretty much knew from the get-go who was going to win. 96, we all knew Clinton was beating Dole. I was only 12, and even I knew that. Obviously Obama, Romney, and even both of Obama's, really, we knew he was going to get it. But so I just hope this is a lesson for them. I hope it's a lesson for the media. Can't just can the shit, man. That's all I can say. Can it, and start actually reporting the actual news and what actually matters. Stop trying to do all this propaganda garbage. We see right through you. That's all I can say. We see right through you. Like I said, I'm just a dude, 40 years old, and just working. It's been a very nondescript life. I mean, it's basically, it sounds nondescript on paper. It's found very descript to live, but like I said, I don't have any political science or anything, but I see what's going on. So, I mean, it's just, can it, and let's just focus on reality here. Stop trying to foster division and just say, look, here's what needs to happen, and let's just make our lives better, make the country better. The whole MAGA thing, make America great again. There's something behind that. I know it's kind of been turned into a battle line, and some people have made it into a cringy thing for sure, but just focus on keeping America great, and making it greater. Just do that, and we'll take care of you. I promise you. So, congratulations to everybody who, like me, was in desperate want and need for Kamala to get out of there. Republicans took over the Senate and the House too, which depending on how much they want to stay in the good graces of Trump and the Americans, we'll see what they do. If they make the same mistakes they've made in the past and distance themselves from Trump, it's not a good thing. 'Cause like I said, from a personal allegiance standpoint, you'd be surprised how many of us that were very, very willing and happy to vote for Trump don't actually care for the guy on a personal level, but put him in office, our lives are better, so put him on a ballot, let us vote for him. We'll vote for him. If you vote for him again in 2028, even though he'll be about 180 years old by then, we'd probably vote for him again. So whoever's next in line, whether it's Democrats or Republicans, or there's going to be somebody next in line in 2028, for Republicans and Democrats. Focus on America, focus on the economy, focus on the middle class, and we'll be just fine. You'll be just fine. We'll take care of you. You take care of us, we will take care of you. I promise you. So, rolled out of bed, and got my wallet on my nightstand table with my watch and everything and keys. And as I was getting up, I actually reached over and kind of like patted my wallet and said, "It's gonna be okay." Oh, so cringe, so cringe. But I'm not gonna deny it happened. So, it's my take on that for whatever it's worth, and look forward to not doing any more of these political videos, but just cut the bullshit to the media, to the politicians, to everybody, to the athletes. Cut the bullshit. Just get to the point. Let's make this economy good. Let's make it where we have some extra money in our pocket to have a little bit of fun. We'll spend money. We'll go to your businesses. We'll spend money for entertainment. We'll make some purchases we probably shouldn't make, but if we, at least have the illusion that, we got a little bit of extra money there, we're going to spend money. We will spend money. So take care of us. We'll take care of you. Thank you, guys. I'll talk to you again about politics in 4 years.